Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and should we see what's going on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today, on 31st of March, the last day of March, before we turn over onto a new month. Turn over onto a new month? That's not really how you say things, is it? What's going on? Hello, phone. Are you right here? So I'm trying to load and download something at the same time, just gave me an error message. That's fine. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, we've got tomorrow being April Fool's Day. Is there going to be an Animal Crossing event for April Fool's Day? Probably not, but, you know, we got whoopee cushions at least, so that's something more than last year, I think. Hello everyone, and I'm Fawnhollow. It's 4:25pm on Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. Nothing to really do today, so we'll sort of... Oh, with March coming to an end, I wonder how is this month treated, everyone? Good, I hope. Well, no matter what kind of March you've had, let's make sure that April is filled with joy. Isabel, signing off. We can only hope for that much, I suppose, Isabel. Oh, there we go. It's, you know, put my phone away. We're concentrating on Animal Crossing right now, you know. So yeah, what went up today? Not much. Same old sort of things. CJ, hello, goodbye. I cleared out a lot of my letter space in my mailbox just to make a bit of room. We don't have Crazy Red visiting. Is he even called Crazy Red? Am I just calling him that every single time? I keep thinking he's called Crazy Red because of like Crazy Pete. You know, Plants vs Zombies. Remember that? I don't know why I say remember that. You've either played it or you didn't, and then, you know, if you played it and you don't remember Crazy Pete, I don't really know what to say. It's quite a big name in that. I don't know. What should we talk about today? I didn't really think about something to talk about. When I say, oops, what am I doing? Think about something to talk about. More like something came to mind. It was like, oh, let's talk about this. No, it's just we're just vibing, you know. As you do. Do we have the other one? We have red, green, and a different colour. Ah, it doesn't matter. We don't need all the colours of whoopee cushions. Who even cares? But on the other hand, we're limited edition, so you know, you might as well buy them. So let's get that back in there. What is it about things being limited edition? That's just like your brain is like, oh, must have, you know. If there was that yellow whoopee cushion there like all year round in the Nook shop, I'd be like, oh, whatever. Who cares about that? Suddenly, it's like, oh, you know, we can only buy it for the next 4 days. I'm just like, give me 500 of them, you know? Why are our monkey brains like this? Constantly fueled by a desire, a need to have something, to not miss out. Okay, those are clearly all eggs. Actually, they might not all be eggs. One of them might be a fossil. Do we have a fossil? We have a fossil in our inventory. We don't even need to dig them up. So you lot can stay buried there. We have a wandering visitor for today. A little bit of popping there. Oh, hello, Sahara. There you are. You weren't here last week, so... Yeah, limited edition exclusivity. I think often exploited by business people to appeal to our needs to have something and not miss out on it, right? Our childish monkey brain is just like... It's what I need. You got what I need. Something like that. And thus by reducing the amount of time it's available for, you know, it sends our brain into overdrive. Well, not necessarily overdrive. I won't speak on your behalf, but when I see something on limited edition, my first carnal instinct, I suppose, to see it is like, what? I need it. And then I think about it, and I'm like, do I actually need this? Maybe I don't need this. You think about it a bit more? No, I don't think I need this. I mean, when you sort of just walk away. But catch me in that moment of weakness. You know, I think you can buy me to what? Get me to buy something I definitely would never need. I don't know, it's like a thing with sales and that sort of thing. FOMO and all that. Fear of missing out. Actually, I think I've talked about FOMO before now I think about it. I'm almost certain. It seems very familiar. But no, we're talking about limited sales. I mean, it's sort of just like if I don't buy it now, I'm going to miss out on a grand opportunity. But, you know, it's trying to deduce in your mind whether it's something you actually want and you're like, oh, this is actually a good purchase for you because you're saving money by buying it now, or is it a situation where by purchasing it you're not screwing yourself over, but you know what I mean, like it's unnecessary. Tis a thing that you do not need, but your heart's desires called it forth to you. If I was to put in for some reason a very overly dramatic sort of way there. I suppose that's what we're doing right now. We're buying the Sahara mysterious wallpaper and flooring, you know. Early here for a day. Got to grab them while they're hot. Oasis flooring, blue kitchen mat, yellow wrap, You know, I'll go around, and they all kind of suck. Actually, didn't see the wallpaper. Security monitors. In fact, I think we might already have all of these. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't cleared out my wallpapers and flooring for quite some time because, you know, couldn't be bothered. Clearing out your storage is boring. You know what's fun? Hitting rocks in Animal Crossing. Just saying. Don't knock it till you try it. No, because it's a thing often used in video games, I suppose, is probably why I have so much familiarity with it. I say familiarity is like, oh, I'm a connoisseur, I'm an expert in limited edition things. No, what I just mean is like through my own experience with it, I suppose. Has only been through like limited time events, games, that sort of thing, being like, oh, buy now. Buy. Diamond hands, something like that. I want a Nook Mile ticket tour. I got even more stone eggs. We don't need your eggs, Rowan. I'm sure you've got plenty. What? Wait, what? Rest assured, we've got plenty. That's what I meant to say, but for some reason I turned around on Rowan. Yeah, because video games chock filled of limited time events. I mean, right now, it's getting close to April Fool's Day. Springtime events often happening in a lot of video games. I say video games, I mean like gacha games, to be honest. Mobile games, that sort of thing. I mean, those are just back to back. You know, these titles start to stack. I think there's a rap line from, I don't even know what it's from. What is that from? It's from some like parody rap battle. Oh, you know what? I think it's a EULCS rap battle. Anyway, let's move past that. No, because of these limited time events, you know, I guess it's to entice you to come back, play them, you know, so you don't miss out on them. Get these time exclusive deals, or things of that ilk. And with that, because your brain is like, I keep saying your brain is a bit accusatory, isn't it? It's like, your brain, you, dear viewer, right now, you're the one. You're the reason that we have limited time events. No, I don't mean like that, but I mean in the general you, the royal you. You as in humanity. But I'm addressing it to make it more personal, I don't know. The irresistibility of getting something which is time limited. Now what is it? Like, if we break it down, is it because we can have it and it's sort of like a mark of pride, you know? Like the Hollow Knight badge. You get it and it's just like, oh, you know? No, not everyone could have got this. I've said, you know, so much of this episode. I've just become consciously aware of it. It's a mark of pride being like, I was here. Not everyone could have got this. This is a sense of exclusivity, and thus makes me superior. Is that a sort of like subtle, not panache, but I don't know why I was thinking word panache. The subtle reasoning, not reasoning, for how enticing limited time events are. Or is it something else? Like what other events? What other reasons could it be? You know. It's the fact that you could get it and not other people could. All right. What about the fact that you could get it and you might want it later, but if you don't get it now, you're going to miss out on it potentially forever. Well, here's a newsflash: not everything lasts forever. Ooh, like chocolate bunnies. Everything is temporary. So you might say that takes a nihilistic argument, or a nihilistic viewpoint, and you're like, well, so don't do anything? No, what I mean is everything is temporary, and, you know, so is your longing for an item, and so is the opportunity cost you've missed by not getting it, I suppose. Now, okay, maybe you shouldn't, like, apply that in broad strokes to literally everything, because you'll be like, oh, you know, my love of a life. If I don't confess to them now, they'll never know my true intentions. I mean, you're like, well, you know, because everything is temporary, who cares? It's like, okay, well, I mean, you might as well give it a shot in that sort of situation, I'd imagine, but, you know, I feel like, I said you know again, but that's a bit of a straw man argument for what I was going for you. I feel like you understand what I meant. If you don't understand what I meant, then, you know, fair enough. Oh my god, I said you know again. I've never been so consciously aware that I say you know all the time. Let's try and cut down on that. I'm just saying, is that everything, I guess, is limited, quote, quote, per se, So if you take everything with that sort of mindset, you can you're missing out on things all the time. Now, that was meant to be like a reassuring thing, so it doesn't matter if you miss out on this other thing. Actually, I think that's probably going to give more existential dread, if anything, isn't it? You're missing out on things all the time. Oh my god, what am I doing? I gotta go out there and start doing things. Which is, in some aspects, fair. You should go out there and do things, experience life. Well, safely right now. No, not that far forward. So, within reason, be careful about it. You don't want to ruin things for everyone. Especially right now. Gotta wait for that vaccine to hit. Did we get we didn't get a thing. I was seeing if we got not the water bottle, the message in a bottle, you better rub me the right way. Who sings that? I don't know. Can't remember. Nelly Furtado, maybe? That doesn't sound right. Maybe, no, it kind of sounds right. Wait, it's a bit irrelevant. Now I've spent the entire time trying to make a case for why limited time things. You shouldn't even bother with limited time things. What limited time things should you bother with? That's a good question. Limited time events, like time you could spend with your family for only a short while. If you go like home and visit them for a little bit, that's limited time. You shouldn't go back and be like, you know what, now I'm back here. I'm not going to spend any time with you. It's all temporary anyway. I mean, unless you have a bad relationship with your family, in which case, don't take my advice, to be honest. I think that's something I should go for the entirety of what I say. Don't take my advice. At least as gospel. Feel free to take it as food for thought, a penny for your thoughts even. But don't rely on it for anything rather than surface value intentions. I don't think that makes sense. So I feel like the sentence I just said that didn't make sense. I don't know. Anyway, it's a bit of a predatory thing, isn't it? To put into video games to force those like dopamine receptors in your brain or whatever to be like must get now. Because on one hand it's a business tactic. On the other hand, well, there's not really much of another hand. There's not really much benefit to it. I suppose by having something for a limited edition time, you can fit it thematically with seasonal events around the year. It'd be a bit strange to have like a pumpkin spice latte all year round. Or maybe in your mind it's perfectly fine. And I think there's a case to be made for that. There's a case to be made for being like, things should be available all the time, There's no point on restricting it temporally for no apparent reason, even if it's thematically inconsistent. On the other hand, you gotta think within the realms of feasibility, Pumpkin spice, or like peppermint at Christmas or something like that, like coffee, and we're taking a coffee shop for an example, they can't stock that all year round, because it's just not popular all year round, presumably. If we as consumers are different, and we had peppermint or we had pumpkin spice latte all year round, then perhaps that would be reasonable for it to be stocked all year round, and then it would probably just be a permanent item on the menu. But because we are fickle beings, by restricting it to a limited time period, it can be done in season, in fitting with thematics. But it can't be put that way. I don't think we're going to decorate anywhere with it. Do we need to customize our shovel? I think we do. I can't remember though. By keeping things limited to a certain time period, with that you can, I suppose in the end it's always going to be a bit exploitative of the customer, but it's, I suppose, appealing to a customer who in that time period, that thematic time period of like Christmas or Easter or whatever, is looking for something to be put into that festive mood, I suppose, no matter what the festivities may be. By advertising it as something limited, you can now advertise it as something related to that time period, and thus give it a sort of extra boost, being like, hey customer, you wanted something Christmassy? Here's something Christmassy. Get you in that festive mood. And the customer would be like, yeah, but it was like, oh, this peppermint, get a peppermint drink. It's like, oh, but you can buy peppermint drinks all year round. That's not something Christmassy. It's like, okay, well, we're going to have to do something extra, Because humans, we're kind of stupid, let's be honest. Now, I don't mean that in like a mean way. I mean that in like our brains are living is such a complex thing in the first place. We're gonna have to do shortcuts and make shortcuts and simplify things whenever we can. So if we can short wire it at some points to be like, oh, you know, the brain's like, oh, it's Christmas, or insert whatever holiday you want here. I want something related to it. By having something restricted and limited, it can appeal to those sensibilities by cementing a very strong relationship between limited time item and current event. Does that make sense? I don't know if anything I just said makes sense. I don't even know if I understand what I meant. I don't mean to pick it up for one thing. I'm just trying to say that limited. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, I suppose, for limited time things. It's sort of, it's a lame reason, I suppose, when I break it down like this, but it adds to the appeal to it. It makes it feel a bit more special. You make me feel special. There's a lot of iron in here. And because of certain festivities and thematics and themes, certain businesses which wouldn't normally be able to do something a little bit funky, but a little bit crazy for the time, can now do something a little bit fun, a bit funky, you know? And what do I mean by that? How do I put it? I suppose it's sort of like, you know, you go into like your local grocery store or whatever, it's just a grocery store. It's not got any pizzazz to it. It's not got any. It's just shelves and shelves of items of stock, because what else is it meant to be? That. And by incorporating a little bit of livelihood, I suppose, every holiday season, it can impart a little bit of impressionability into our minds, I suppose. A little bit of association with being like, this is a nice place to be, rather than this is a place to be. Which I don't think inherently is a bad thing. I think it's... I suppose you could say it's... Again... if you're very cynical, I suppose you can take every action that any business takes from a very cynical point of view, being like, oh, okay, you know, it's just... In the end, it's about money. It's like, well, you're not wrong, but... At least it can be about money in a bit of a more cheerful way, rather than being so robotic, you know. But I suppose that's my point. I suppose in the end you remember that there's still a human behind all these decisions in the end. Well, human in the literal sense of the word. Is that a low blow? That's a bit of a low blow. What to do now? Oh, water our pumpkins. Oh, our pumpkins have grown. Pluck them. And I guess we'll make some scarecrows today. And that sort of adds a bit more of a community human element to it, doesn't it? And a bit of fanciness. To be fair, this is more to do with decorations rather than limited time items and purchases, which... I don't know, I feel like the only devil's advocate thing I can really come up with is it's pretty irresponsible to... Not irresponsible, but unfeasible to stock it all year round. Because people just won't buy it out of season or anything like that, right? And if people won't buy it out of season, there's no point stocking it. And in the end, they are a business. They don't want to be sunk or go under just because they're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna stock Christmas tinsel all year round. It's like, no, who's buying Christmas tinsel in April? Well, I mean, maybe someone. Actually, oh no, wait, that was around Christmas time. I was trying to think back in uni. And like the first time I was on the rowing team for a little bit. It was like on the novice rowing team. Do I like rowing? It's not my thing. But I thought I'd try it. What should we do? We're 20 minutes. Oh yeah, we're making pumpkins. Smashing pumpkins. And then, I don't even know why I'm telling the story. But the story is one of our teammates, because we had a race around Christmas, and everyone was meant to dress up for it. They bought a load of Christmas like decorations, and we dressed up for it. That's about it. It's not even an interesting story. I don't know why it came to mind. It's because I was thinking about tinsel, and I was like, oh yeah, that was something. That was some people who bought tinsel out of season, which is technically kind of out of season. It was a month early, but you know, people like to start celebrating Christmas as early as possible, apparently. Where are the pumpkin head guys? Ah, there they are. What do we need? Wood. Would you kindly pass me that potion? Do we want any of this other stuff out and about? Pumpkins are okay. It's just like, we can't have too many pumpkins everywhere. That's sort of, rather than putting it into a death and decay sort of vibe, it puts it in straight into a spooky vibe, which is not quite what I'm going for. Or maybe it is. I don't really know, to be honest. That's yet to be discovered. I'm talking with a very weird lilt today, aren't I? I just consciously feel like I am. Anyway, let's craft some pumpkin people to populate our little island. We can make 6 of them. Sure, let's make 6 of them. We can grab some more from our inventory. We can make like, whatchamacallit? Should we make 8 of them? 2 of each colour? That seems reasonable. I don't know, what other limited time things already happen? I mean, seasonal events. It sort of like gives the opportunity for a business to say, hey, here's big sales. Like, I know, here's the Christmas sales, the DFS, the Christmas sale, now on. Has DFS shut down yet? Not like I don't mean that in like a mean-spirited way, but if you don't know, there's been like a million adverts of being like, this is a DFS closing sale, buy now before, well, stocks last or something like that. And it's like, what? You've been closing down for like the past 10 years. I'm actually kind of curious now. They've probably shut down by now. We have a lot of pumpkins. We did not need to actually go harvest these pumpkins. We could have just left them as you were. I'm kind of curious. Have DFS shut down? DFS. It seems like they're still open. In fact, their stock prices gained 1.3% recently, so sell. Spooky, scary scarecrow. So let's make 2 yellow ones, 2 green ones, and 2 white ones. Of course, we already got 2 orange ones by default. It's a bit strange that you need to use pumpkins to... Wait, we only made 7. We need to make another one. That's fine, we can just craft it. Well, technically we already got a white one out there. That's a good point. That's a good point. We've already got a white one out there, so... Really need to make 1 white one. And by 1 white one out there, I mean like Mira's Island has one on. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your skull and shrish. It's quite a ways off since to Halloween, so maybe I shouldn't be singing a Halloween song. I think you got a point there. But consider this, every day is Halloween. I suppose it becomes considerably less special if every day is Halloween. Which just raises questions about the song, I wish it could be Christmas every day. Do you really want that? This is just perfectly linked into what I was talking about. Do you not want Christmas to be a limited time event, so it's made sport more special every single time? You don't want it to be an everyday event. If it's an everyday event, but it's as boring as eating your breakfast. Which, I don't know, I suppose your mileage may vary depending on how much you like eating breakfast, but me, eating breakfast is just a meh part of my day. It's just a part of my day. Sahara, walking through the spooky forest. Alright, let's put spooky scarecrow numero uno here. These we can actually turn around. They should look at you as you're walking down this path and you're like, ooh. Barracuda, I don't know what I was going with. Something like that, and then, you know, put one here. I said, you know, again. You know how I'm feeling. Oh, maybe we actually need way more. These two look like buddies. No, you're meant to be scary. Don't look happy. Yeah, look away. Cold shoulder. What do you think of this place, Audie? Audie, we could put your portrait down, you know? You're one of the few villagers who gave us a spare portrait of yourself. And thus we can put you down. Oh, we should have grabbed them. The portraits. I wonder if we can... I don't think we can put posters down on the ground, can we? I think they can only go on the wall. I'm not sure, though. But we've got a few photos we can put down next to Beacon. We can put Jingle's photo down, I guess. We got Jingle's photo, we got a spare Lily's photo, and then a spare Audie's photo. So R.I.P. them, but it's time for them to die. Sorry, it's a bit macabre. Not like literally, I'm not like perish, but like you already know the vibe and all that. Why on earth is that decoration so low down? I have no idea. Okay, what other photos do we got? Is it on wall mounted? It's not on wall mounted. We say the girl with a pearl earring has unfortunately perished away. Perished away is not the phrase. Passed away. So Audie, Jingle, Lily. I was like, oh, they look so happy in these photos. I mean, here we are putting them. It's a bit macabre. It's a bit macabre, but you know, I think they'd see it in good spirits. But no, not what I meant. Actually, I'm just picturing this in real life. It was like, oh yeah, you know, our local villager, a local mayor or something, has, you know, constructed a graveyard nearby. Okay, fair enough. There is one not too far away from where I am. But then it's like, oh, and they also put what? Excuse me? We can't place Jack's photo? We should, you know what is a much smarter idea, is put the photos down of people who have moved out from this island rather than people who are still here. Oh, but it sounds so much more funny when it's people who are still here, you know? It's like they're the spirits just wandering around the island. They can never rest. They can never be put to rest because they have unfinished business left on this mortal realm. I missed out on the Christmas event in Genshin Impact. Oh no. Something like that. Okay, we definitely need some trees around here. I really wish we could do twiggy trees. Maybe it's a recipe. Hold on. But this is a thing where you check out nookplaza.net, not sponsored by the way. And you search like tree. Maybe there is like a bare bones tree which we can use, which would fit a spooky sort of place. I mean, Bunny Day tree. If a Bunny Day tree didn't have Bunny Day things on it, maybe Halloween this year will have extra items again. Could be interesting. I just want a spooky tree. Is that so much to ask for? Well, we can't put Jack's portrait down, which is a bit strange. And if only we could put like smoke machines or something down to fill this area up with smoke and fog. And a Gilbert Godfrey thing. It sounds like random YouTube clip. You fool! From like some quiz show. What are we gonna do with this side of the island? I don't know. We've got to think about it. Hello, Mira. When I say think about it, I didn't literally mean think about it. Well, I mean I did, but not like in game literally. We still got these bell trees, which I guess we're just populating this side with bell trees. I'm not really sure. I guess that's some sort of representation of fortune and prosperity, isn't it? Money literally going on trees. This place is heaven. Money literally grows on trees around here. And that causes a hyperinflation and the economic collapse of Valhalla. I was trying to think of another synonym for heaven, but I couldn't think of one. I mean, I kind of like this winding path. It just needs to be more, not cluttered necessarily, but more filled up so it actually feels like a dense forest. But I don't want to repeat putting the same trees down. Oh, what to do. Actually, a thing I learned is you can actually plant coconut trees over on land over here. So we could actually move those plain summer trees and put them over here on this side, and put the palm trees over on the left side, make this a palm tree forest. I learned you can do it if you put down a piece of sand on the ground first. So maybe that's something for tomorrow to think about. Moving those trees over here, replacing them with palm trees. Yeah, if you apparently put down like a sand path, you can put these coconut trees and plant them on top of them. So that's how people do it. But for now, this needs to be a bit more dense. More trees. What else can we put in here? I guess we could put the spooky jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, we need to make more of those stone lanterns. Absolutely, these ones. These spooky ones. They're very spooky, aren't they? And we need to make like gothic fences, I suppose. Animal Crossing is a bit too bright and happy right now to really give that atmosphere we're looking for. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. If it's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Links down below. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. While stocks last. Limited time only. Something, something. I don't know. Insert pun.